The $1,000 UCS Death Star comes with the most minifigures ever included in a LEGO set. And in this video, we will be taking an in-depth look at all 38 minifigures included. And you definitely want to stick around for this one because thanks to today's video sponsor, Whatnot, I am giving away 2 sealed Death Stars. That is right, you have a chance to win the most expensive LEGO set ever released. More details on the giveaway later, but if you're not already signed up for Whatnot, make sure you use my link because you'll also get a free $15 to spend. This video is all minifigures, and let's be honest, most of you care about those more than the giant death slice itself. I put a lot of research into every minifigure included in this set, and some of these minifigures use brand new parts that every collector should be aware of. And not only that, I will be going over their current price ranges and giving you advice on which ones to hold out on. So let's jump right into it with some of the more common minifigures included in this set, and starting us off, we have R2-D2. Now this is something like the 16th version of R2-D2 that we've ever gotten, and this is a reused version of R2-D2 that's been appearing in sets since 2022. This exact version can be found in 5 other sets, most of which are still on shelves today, and he only goes for around $3. Don't expect that price to change at all with the inclusion of this minifigure in this set. It's a great R2-D2, nothing really wrong with it, nice inclusion. And our next minifigure is C-3PO. Now we have something like 14 versions of C-3PO, and this one has been in sets since 2022. Now while this isn't necessarily a bad C-3PO minifigure, there is a huge grievance among fans with this one. And that grievance comes from the fact that they are currently producing a higher quality C-3PO that has been put into some expensive sets. It doesn't really make sense why they wouldn't put that C-3PO into this one. They've definitely tried to gatekeep that one with a premium price tag, given it has only appeared in sets that are $200 plus. That one has a very nice dual molded silver leg instead of just the printing, and it definitely has more of a premium feel to it. And it's not like that minifigure has stopped being produced. Those sets are still being made, and for whatever reason they decided to kind of skimp out and go with this lesser quality C-3PO. So that's kind of the first issue we've run into with the minifigures in this set. I think it's a decent C-3PO, it's just not really appropriate including it in a $1,000 set when you have a better one available. This one only goes for around $5, don't really expect that to change, but there's going to be a lot of nitpicky small things like that with these minifigures as we go forward. And our next minifigure is Chewbacca. Now this is just your standard Chewie. He's appeared in a dozen sets prior to this one. He only goes for around $5, and that is not expected to change, obviously. It's a good Chewbacca. I don't really see the need to change this minifigure. Honestly, any changes that come from it are just for the sake of changing it. So I think this Chewie is fine. I don't really have any recommendations or know what they could do to make Chewie more premium or anything. But good inclusion in the set, nothing really wrong with Chewie, and you get his bowcaster stud shooter, which is always a plus. Our next minifigure is Darth Vader. This Vader is a reuse. It has been previously used in the Boarding on Tantive set, the Emperor's Throne Room diorama, as well as the TIE Bomber. It's a pretty nice Vader. He only goes for around $7, so that price probably isn't going to change at all with the inclusion of him in this set, and he's got that nice white face print underneath. This minifigure is just fine. I don't think they really needed to change anything. Obviously, you need Vader in the Death Star, though. Now, as someone who's a huge Vader fan, I was hoping we would get some kind of premium Vader in this $1,000 Death Star set. One idea that I personally had is if LEGO made some kind of electrocuted lightning version of Vader when he is throwing Palpatine over the balcony. That cutscene in the game is just so iconic to me, and I think it would be really cool to get a version of Vader like that as some kind of Easter egg. This is a great version of Vader. They really didn't need to change anything about him, so good inclusion in the set. And the next minifigure we're going to look at is Emperor Palpatine. And a quick little Easter egg they did with this set that I'd like to point out is that there's 81 total bags of parts, and they put Emperor Palpatine's parts in the 66th bag. Obviously, that's a reference to Order 66. That's just a nice little nod there. But moving on to Palp himself, this one is indeed a reuse. It was used previously in the paper bag as well as the Emperor's Throne Room diorama. It's a great Palpatine. The pupils are one thing to kind of nag about. Not really sure how they could have made this minifigure more unique to this $1,000 Death Star, but if you guys have any ideas, I'd love to hear them down below. Obviously, with the Death Star, you have to include Palpatine. That's non-negotiable. I wish they would have beefed this one up a little bit somehow. Didn't really think they needed to, but once again, Palpatine, Death Star, Would have been cool if they gave us some kind of unique part or something to kind of make this minifigure a little better. I personally like the old lightning pieces rather than these new ones, but that's just kind of a little gripe. But it's a fine figure, no real complaints besides the pupils on this one. And our next minifigure is Old Ben Obi-Wan Kenobi. From here on out is where things get pretty interesting. A lot of these minifigure parts are unique going forward. This Obi-Wan is a brand new minifigure only seen in this $1,000 Death Star set. The legs, torso, and headpiece on this minifigure are brand new and exclusive to this $1,000 Death Star at the time of this video. The legs look good. I really do like the torso on this one. The gold accents on the belt buckle and kind of belt loops look really good on this. Moving on to the dual printed headpiece featured on this new Obi-Wan. I really like the beard on this. They gave it that gray color, but they put a lot of extra detail into the beard, giving it those white accent marks to signify his age. Now, all of the details on this Obi-Wan are really nice. There's nothing really to complain about with this minifigure. And this minifigure is consistently selling anywhere from $30 to $60 online. All these minifigures going forward, these prices are going to fluctuate a lot. I'm making this video in the first week that the set has been released. So all of these price ranges are going to jump up and down and settle in somewhere over time. But as of right now, I'm seeing this one go for around $30 to $60. But great Obi-Wan, and I like the new printed pieces. I don't know if they'll ever reuse these, but as of right now, he's only in this Death Star. Our next minifigure is Princess Leia. Now, this version is indeed unique and brand new to this $1,000 set. And what is unique about this minifigure is the torso print. In previous versions of this white Princess Leia, the belt has had 3 silver emblems on the pattern. For whatever reason, they gave this one a brand new design torso with 5 silver belt emblems. But that torso makes this one exclusive to this set, and we are seeing this minifigure go for $40 to $50 right now. I think this is a nice Princess Leia. I personally prefer the skirt piece on the white Princess Leia outfit. I think the skirt piece adds a bit more elegance, and it kind of fits Leia in those early episodes. This is a great figure. The torso print upgrade, I mean, it's nice that they're making additions, but it really was not too necessary, I think. I really don't know if that extra investment makes this minifigure any better than what it would have been without it. So that's another one where I don't know why they put extra thought into this torso for such a minimal change when they could have given us dual molded legs on other figures. But it's a nice Princess Leia, good inclusion in this set, and who knows if we'll see this unique torso in other sets going forward. Continuing with these Rebel minifigures, next up we have Han Solo. Now this is one of 2 versions of Han Solo included in this set, and this one is indeed unique and uses a brand new part. The hair, dual printed faces, and legs have all been previously used, but this torso piece is brand new to this set. And of course, since this torso is brand new, this is a unique minifigure to this set now, and we're seeing it sell for about $30 to $40. So if you're a hardcore LEGO Star Wars fan and you intend to buy every version of every minifigure, this is just an annoying one to pick up for you. But it's a nice Han Solo. They could have been a little bit better with the skin printing on his torso, but nice inclusion. And next is our second version of Han Solo included in this set. We have the Stormtrooper Han. Now this one uses all pre-existing parts. So while this is technically a new minifigure, it uses pre-existing parts just in a combination we haven't seen before. It uses the same exact face print as the Han Solo we just showed, which is nice that they were consistent with that. And this one is going for around $30. Moving on, we have the Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. Now this is one of 3 Luke Skywalkers included in this set, and these Lukes have one of the funniest changes out of all of the minifigures included. To the naked eye, this one looks exactly like the Luke that we got in the Emperor's Throne Room diorama, and it uses the same torso and black legs from that, but we use a different hairpiece. This hairpiece is better. It is not new. It was previously included in other sets, but it is a nice hairpiece, and I think it looks better than the Throne Room diorama. And moving on to one of the most baffling pieces in this entire video is this dual printed face that Luke has. This looks like any other Luke face print, but this is indeed a brand new print that is featured only in this $1,000 set currently, and it is used on all 3 of the Lukes that we will show in this video. And when we compare it side by side to the one in the Emperor's Throne Room diorama, it is almost laughable at how small of a change they made to this. And we're seeing this one go for around $30 just for that change, which is hilarious. And it's funny because we previously mentioned that the Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine were previously used in that Emperor's Throne Room diorama, and they are exact one-of-one copies in this $1,000 Death Star set. I don't understand why they couldn't just use the face print that they're currently using in the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit set. Would have been perfectly fine to be used in all 3 of these minifigures, but they went ahead and printed a completely new one. And that funny little difference aside, it is a good looking Luke Skywalker. Obviously you have have to include a Jedi Knight Luke in a Death Star set. And this one looks really good. I think he gets the job done, but it's just so funny why they made that change. And moving on to the second Luke Skywalker in this set, we have the Tatooine Luke. Now, this is probably my favorite Luke in the set. I really like this Luke, and it is a brand new, unique minifigure to this $1,000 set. The head, torso, and legs are all brand new to this set. I think the torso looks good. The previous ones got the job done. I mean, the changes here are pretty minimal, but it looks good. I think the legs are honestly some of the best Tatooine Luke legs that we've ever gotten. I don't know what it is about these ones. It's kind of hard to put into words, but I think these legs just go really well with all the other parts on this minifigure. I like the ripples down by the knee. I think the black lines look really good and really crisp on this one. But Tatooine Luke in the Death Star is a nice inclusion. I think this one looks really, really good. I'm a big fan of it, and it's going for around $30 right now. And moving on to our third and final version of Luke included in this set, we have the Stormtrooper disguise version to pair with the Han. This is another good inclusion in this set. We've gotten a Stormtrooper disguise version of Han and Luke in every Death Star previously, so this one is kind of expected at this point, but I think it looks really nice. This is a brand new, unique version of Stormtrooper disguise Luke Skywalker, given that new head print. So it's a good Stormtrooper disguise Luke. This is the fourth version of a Stormtrooper disguise Luke that we've ever gotten, and he's currently going for around $30 as well. So third and final Luke, really like all three of them, but that head print is just so funny to think about. And just going back to it again and again, why did you give this Luke a brand new face print when you have existing ones in circulation that would have done just fine and added basically the same value to it, when you could have put that effort into giving us dual molded legs for other figures? But not taking away from these Lukes at all, it's just a funny thing to think about. These are all great Lukes, and I'm glad they were all included in this set. Moving on to the Imperials of this set, we have the Imperial Royal Guard. Now, there are two of these included in this set, but this is a brand new, unique Royal Guard. All of the pieces have been previously used before, besides the torso, which is a brand new print exclusive to this $1,000 Death Star at the time of this video. I don't think we've gotten a Royal Guard in a set since 2020, so it's actually been a decent amount of time. It is funny that they have the same exact head mold, but they went ahead and gave us a new torso print. This torso print looks fine. There's really no necessity to make any of these torso changes, but it looks good. And due to this change and it being a unique minifigure, we're seeing this one go for about $10 to $30. It's nice that they included two Royal Guards. Royal Guards almost always come in a pair of two, so that's cool that they included that. It's expected. Good Royal Guard, glad they included it. The torso change is fine, nothing really too special about this one. Moving on to the Imperial Gunner minifigures. Now, there are two included in this set, and they both have different face prints underneath. Both of these use the same helmet, torso, and leg piece, which are all previously used in sets prior to this one. The one we're showing right here is the female version of the Imperial Gunner. This Imperial Gunner is unique. All of these parts have previously existed, but they have never combined in this fashion to form this minifigure. This female headpiece is also included in a Stormtrooper in this exact same set, which we will get to, but this headpiece was first used in the Beach Bomber minifigure earlier this year. So this headpiece is fairly new. It was only used once prior to this set, and then they included it twice in minifigures in this set. Pretty much have to include Imperial Gunners in the Death Star. It's nice to get a pair of two, but this one is going for about $10 to $30 right now. And here is the second Imperial Gunner included in this set. This is the male, and like the first Imperial Gunner, this is a new minifigure, but all of the parts are previously used in other minifigures. This is just a new combination of pre-existing parts. This Gunner's head print is more common, previously being used in minifigures such as Iron Patriot and War Machine. Nothing too special about this one. It's only going for around $10. Now, I really don't care too much for arm printing most of the time, but this is a minifigure that might have done well with some extra Imperial insignias on the arm printing for this $1,000 set. These are good minifigures. They get the job done, and I'm glad they included two of them with different face prints. Next, we have two different Imperial Navy Troopers. Now, the first one we're going to look at is a repeat, and the second one is actually unique to this set. The first Imperial Navy Trooper we're going to look at right here is the medium tan version. This one is not unique to this set. It's got two different face prints on the headpiece. I really like the collar on the chin there. It's a nice detail that goes with this helmet. But this exact Imperial Navy Trooper first first appeared in the Imperial Star Destroyer of 2024, the one with Cal Kestis. So this is one of the first Imperial Troopers we've seen that is a one-of-one copy that was previously used in another set. This one only goes for around $6, and the fact that it's included in this set doesn't really change the price at all. And moving on to the second Imperial Navy Trooper that is included in this set, this one is unique and is brand new to this $1,000 set. It uses all of the same parts as the previous one, including the helmet, torso, and legs, but this one actually features a brand new unique headpiece that is only in this set. It's a nice reddish brown head with two different face prints on it. It features that chin strap that goes with the helmet really nice like the other one, and the two face prints, one is just a normal kind of stern look, and the second one is more of a surprised, scared look. I kind of like it on this one, but I love to see little unique changes on seemingly common minifigures like this. This is just a random Imperial Navy Trooper. They really didn't have to do anything special with him, but I love the fact that they gave him a brand new face print for this set. Now, like the other Imperial Troopers, it would have been nice to get some Imperial insignias on the arm. I don't even know if that would be canon or accurate. Given that this one has a brand new face print that is only in this $1,000 set at the time of this video, this one is going for around $25 to $30 in the aftermarket. So it's important for you to know which one of these is common, appearing in two sets, and which one is brand new and only appearing in this $1,000 set. Next up in this set, we have the Imperial Crew Member. Now, this is the male Imperial Crew Member featured in this set. There's also a female, which we will show next. But this male Imperial Crew Member is an exact copy of the one featured in the Imperial Star Destroyer of 2024. This is a fine minifigure. I would rather have them include it than not include it, so it's good to see. Now, I would have personally liked to see some kind of change made for this $1,000 set. Like previously stated, some Imperial insignias on the arm or something, but this is a fine minifigure. He goes for around $10, and the inclusion of him in this set is probably not going to adjust that price at all. But this minifigure is fine. It's just more Imperial volume to kind of hash out those play features that are featured in this set. And moving on to the female Imperial Crew Member included in this set, this is a brand new unique minifigure to this $1,000 Death Star. When we look at the parts, the leg and torso are the exact ones featured in that male Imperial Crew Member, so it's nice that they're consistent there. And this Imperial hat and hair combo piece is the exact same one used with Dedra Miro. Dedra came out in the U-Wing fighter that was released earlier this year, and this is an awesome piece. I'm glad they included it in this Death Star. And while these are all pre-existing parts that we have seen in previous LEGO minifigures, this headpiece is actually brand new to this $1,000 Death Star. We have a nice female face print with a little crease on the smile there. She looks stern, and this is the only print on the head. There's not one on the back at all. But what's funny is that they use this exact same headpiece in a Stormtrooper, which we will get to. But this headpiece is exclusive to this $1,000 Death Star currently, and for that reason, this minifigure is selling for $25 to $50. I really do like this female crew member. It looks a lot like Dedra Miro. I am a huge fan of this hat and hair piece, and I think it looks really well with this figure. Next, we have another female of the Empire. We have this Imperial Navy officer, which is also brand new and unique to this set. This female headpiece has been previously used in Star Wars minifigures like TIE Pilots, Hoth Rebels, and Scout Troopers. But we have two brand new unique parts to this minifigure, one being the torso. And probably the most exciting and best piece of this minifigure, we have a brand new version of that black cap and hair combo piece. This is the exact same piece as the female Imperial crew member that we just showed, as well as Dedra Miro, but the hair is a reddish brown instead of blonde. This is pretty exciting. I think that this is an awesome piece, and it's cool to see that we got a variation of hair color with this minifigure. I think this was a great inclusion in this set. I really like the design of this minifigure. They could have really just made this another volumized Imperial minifigure and not really done anything special. It's very cool to see that they went and changed the hair color and made a brand new piece for this minifigure, and I'm very curious to see if they use this one in other sets going forward. And given that it has two brand new unique pieces, it is going for $25 to $50 currently. Next, we have another brand new unique minifigure. We have this Imperial Shuttle Pilot, and this one contains contains two relatively new pieces, one of which is unique to him. This headpiece is actually used in a stormtrooper in this same set, but prior to that, it was only included in one minifigure. And that is the Arkham Asylum security guard, which appeared in the brand new Arkham Asylum set that released about a month ago. So this headpiece was created in September of 2025, and by October, it's already in 3 minifigures. But the unique part about this minifigure is the torso print. This Imperial Crew uniform jumpsuit is brand new to this minifigure and makes it unique. And for that reason, this Imperial shuttle pilot is going anywhere from $30 to $50. Now, who knows if we will see this torso in another minifigure, but as of right now, it is only in this $1,000 Death Star. I do like the inclusion of this minifigure. I think having a designated shuttle pilot for that Imperial shuttle is very important. This one gets the job done, although it would have been nice to see some Imperial insignias on the arm pieces, but nonetheless, a good minifigure, and I'm happy that they included it for the shuttle. Now, moving on to the Stormtroopers, there are 6 included in this set, and they all feature different face prints underneath of their helmets. I wasn't expecting the Stormtroopers to be of any interest when I was making this video, but upon further research, there's actually some cool things going on with them. All of these Stormtroopers use the same torso, head, and legs, all used in Stormtroopers previously, so nothing new there. And the first Stormtrooper we're going to look at is SW1456. This is the light nougat female. With this headpiece, this is technically a new Stormtrooper minifigure. This same exact headpiece is used with another minifigure in this set that we previously mentioned, and that is the female Imperial crew member with the black cap and blonde hair. But as previously mentioned, this headpiece is making its first appearance in this $1,000 set. And given that this headpiece only appears in these 2 minifigures in this set, it is making them more expensive for the time being, with this one Stormtrooper going for around $20-ish. Now, I would imagine that this random female headpiece appears in some kind of set down the line, but as of right now, it is only in this set, and it's the only way you can get this exact head print. Now, our next minifigure is SW1464. This is another female Stormtrooper that has the Sienna head. Now, we talked about this exact headpiece earlier, as it is used in the female Imperial Gunner that we mentioned in this same set, and prior to these 2 minifigures, it was only used in the Beach Bomber from Fortnite. So this is the first time this headpiece has been used in a Stormtrooper minifigure, making it a new Stormtrooper technically, but all of these parts have been used in previous minifigures, so this one is not going for an insane amount, and the market for this one is around $5 to $10. Moving on to our third female Stormtrooper, this one is the medium brown head version, categorized as SW1326. This minifigure is an exact reuse. It has appeared in 3 other sets prior to this Death Star, those sets being the Boarding on Tantive 4, the Imperial Dropship versus Rebel Scout Speeder set, and the Imperial Star Destroyer of 2024. So this is the third minifigure to be completely reused from that Imperial Star Destroyer set, which is kind of funny. And I would like to point out that this minifigure headpiece is used with Reva of all characters. Kind of funny, it's almost like she got demoted to a Stormtrooper. But anyways, this is a fairly cheap Stormtrooper. You can get it for around $4, considering this exact combination has appeared in several sets already. So there were 3 female Stormtroopers, and there are 3 male Stormtroopers included in this set. And moving on to our first male here, this one is referred to as the medium tan head male, which is SW1463. And this is one you want to be familiar with because this headpiece is brand new, only ever appearing in this $1,000 Death Star. And for that reason, it is currently going for around $20 to $30. It is certainly very possible that this minifigure face print is reused across many other LEGO themes, and this just happens to be the first one it appears in. But on the flip side of that, it could be the only time they ever make it, and for whatever reason, there is just this exclusive Stormtrooper in the Death Star for no reason. And it could cause a lot of collecting issues for people down the line if you want to collect every single LEGO Star Wars minifigure. Moving on to the second male Stormtrooper and the 5th overall, we have this medium nougat male headpiece. This Stormtrooper is technically new. This is the first time that this headpiece has been featured in a Stormtrooper, but as previously stated, this minifigure head appears in the Imperial shuttle pilot that we just showed in this set. And prior to these 2 minifigures, it was first released in the Arkham Asylum security guard, which was released in September of this year. These just seem to be new head prints that they're putting in generic minifigures across all themes, and this Stormtrooper is going for around $10, give or take. Moving on to the final Stormtrooper in this set, this one is referred to as SW1454, the male Umber head. Now, this is a new Stormtrooper minifigure, and this headpiece is brand new, only ever appearing in this $1,000 Death Star. Now, as I mentioned before, a lot of these are generic headpieces, and they could find their way being used into other Imperial minifigures minifigures or even other themes. And for that reason, this one is going for around $20 to $30. If you're somebody that wants to collect every LEGO Star Wars minifigure, it is kind of a gambling period right now with these stormtroopers. We have evidence that a lot of these generic minifigures are using heads across the board that are going to find their way into other themes. So a bit of a gamble if you want to buy them now or wait for the price to go down, but who knows, they may never be produced again. Now our next minifigure is a protocol droid. This is 5D6 RA7, and this is a brand new minifigure appearing for the first time in this $1,000 Death Star. Now we have previously gotten two protocol droids that were named RA7, but this one has the name of 5D6 RA7. And after looking into it a little bit and doing some research, it turns out he was a protocol droid who served as a spy for the ISB. And he also served as a staff aide to Admiral Mahdi, who was another minifigure appearing for the first time in this Death Star that we will get to later. The two previous RA7s that we've gotten appeared in the Jedi Scout Fighter of 2014, and that one goes for around $10. And we also had an RA7 in 2018 that appeared in the Sandcrawler, which goes for around $45. If you look at all three versions of those minifigures, this is by far the coolest one. I really love the gold eyes. And this one is currently going for around $65 to $90. So I guess this is technically the first time we've ever gotten a 5D6 RA7 if this is a named character of an RA7 protocol droid. So I really like how they included this one. It's niche, cool, and it looks really good. Next, we have another droid minifigure. This is R3T6, the astromech droid. Now, this is another droid that can be briefly seen in Episode 4, A New Hope, on the first Death Star. And I really like this astromech. It's honestly one of my favorites they've ever made. The clear dome piece is so cool. I think it looks really well with the red body piece. Now, what I love about that clear dome piece is you can see the LEGO trademark logo through the headpiece, which is really cool in my opinion. And while I do really like this astromech droid, I do have an issue with it. We see a clear behind shot of him in Episode 4, and he has a lot of red detailing on his back. And as we clearly see with this minifigure, there is no printing on the back cylinder piece at all. But this is another one I'm really glad they included. I love to see these unique droids put into these big sets. They could have filled this slot easily with a pre-existing astromech droid, but I'm very glad they went ahead and made a completely new one because I think this one turned out really well. And R3T6 is currently going for around $60 to $90, making it the most expensive astromech droid, I believe. Now we are starting to get into some of the really exciting minifigures included in this set, and next up we have Admiral Mahdi. Admiral Mahdi is the Imperial guy who gets choked out by Darth Vader in Episode 4, and this is the first time we've ever gotten an official named version of him in LEGO form, so it's pretty exciting. This minifigure uses a brand new torso piece and brand new headpiece. The headpiece is dual printed, and the first one shows him kind of smirking all confidently, with the second one very accurately making him look nervous and choked up. I really like the prints on this face. And this is where we get into some serious gripes with the minifigures. The legs on this are pretty lacking, to say the least. This minifigure definitely would have been a step up if it included dual molded legs. Now, I took the ones off of the Yularen from the UCS Venator and applied them here to show you what I'm referring to, and it just definitely gives it a more premium feel. And this is probably one of the biggest talking points in these minifigures, is why they didn't include these with these officers. I think the creation and inclusion of Admiral Mahdi in this $1,000 Death Star is a great addition. It's nice to finally get an official version of this minifigure in this set, and as these minifigures are getting more exciting, they're definitely starting to get more expensive in the aftermarket. This one is trending at around $70 to $100. Our next minifigure is another Imperial officer that we're getting for the first time. We have General Tag. Now, he is very similar to Admiral Mahdi. He uses a brand new torso and headpiece. This headpiece also features two different prints, which look pretty good. And this is also the first time that we've ever had a named General Tag minifigure in LEGO form. But, you know, the gray legs just make this minifigure look kind of basic. It's missing that premium feel, and it also probably would have benefited a lot from having dual molded legs. But nonetheless, I'm very glad that they decided to make this minifigure and include him in this set. And very similar to Admiral Mahdi, this one is going for around $70 to $100 in the aftermarket. Our next minifigure is Colonel Wolf Yularen. This is a unique version of Yularen, only appearing in this $1,000 Death Star, and it is the third version of Yularen that we've ever seen. And I think this minifigure looks really good. If you look at the photos of him at the table in A New Hope, it looks almost identical to this minifigure. Like the other Imperial minifigures, this one uses a brand new torso print and brand new headpiece. I really like the headpiece on this one. It's got two different face prints, one of them being kind of his regular stern Yularen look, and the other one is him looking somewhat surprised. If you look at this face print up close, there's a lot of detail with the wrinkles. They made his mustache both gray and white to give him that aged look. But like the other Imperials, this one has an issue with the legs. He should honestly have all black legs instead of white. But all in all, I'm very happy they included this minifigure, and I think it looks really good. And this version of Yularen is going anywhere from $70 to $120 is what I've seen. It's honestly not that bad of a price if you really think about it. The other white outfit Yularen that we have goes for around $70 to $90 already. So for a little bit extra, you can get this one, and it only appeared in a $1,000 set. And quite honestly, this one is better than that one in my opinion. This one is obviously a very accurate A New Hope version. So if you prefer this style, I highly recommend you pick it up. It's really not that expensive, all things considered. But very happy to have gotten another version of Yularen. He looks very good here, and of course he is Stud Stash approved.
Stud Stash approved.
Our next minifigure is Grand Moff Tarkin. This is the 4th iteration of a Grand Moff Tarkin minifigure that we've ever gotten, but this one is exclusive to this $1,000 UCS Death Star at the time of this video. It uses a brand new torso print and brand new headpiece with 2 face prints. The first one being a regular stern look, and the other one he's kind of gritting his teeth, looking a little bit angry. And this is a very good one to include in this set. He is pretty much essential to a Death Star. But like the other Imperial officers included in this set, it would have definitely benefited having dual molded legs. We haven't had a Grand Moff Tarkin in a set since 2016, and that one is going for around $100 in today's market. And looking at these 4 named Imperial officers specifically, it is very hard to look at these and not feel like something's missing. A lot of people were instantly griping about the dual molded legs, and I personally did not care at first, but after doing my research on all of these minifigures and seeing all of the tiny changes that they've made for honestly no reason with some of the other figures included, it really is kind of baffling that they couldn't have just included 3 different leg pieces that they've already made. But getting back to Grand Moff Tarkin, this one is going for around $65 to a little bit over $100 right now, which is honestly kind of low for a Grand Moff Tarkin. Previous ones, although they are retired, are going for around $100 already, so if you do like this version in particular, it really does make sense for you to pick it up. Now, one thing to note with Grand Moff Tarkin, it is rumored that he is appearing in another set in 2026. So he is one I would definitely consider holding off on until 2026 if you wanted to buy any minifigures individually. This Tarkin is very minimal. I don't really think there's anything they can downgrade with this Tarkin and another one if they release him in another set. So odds are if we do get another Tarkin in the near future, it's going to be the exact same version as this one. So I would definitely recommend waiting on Tarkin if you do plan to buy any of these figures. The hair, headpiece, and torso on this Tarkin are really nice, but I think it would have been perfect if this minifigure had the dual molded legs. It's great to get Tarkin after some time, and he's a no-brainer to add to this set. And we are getting into some very highly anticipated minifigures. Next up, we have Director Krennic. Krennic has gotten increasingly popular with Andor Season 2, and prior to this, we only had Director Krennic in one other set, and that was all the way back in 2016 with Krennic's Imperial Shuttle. And I really like the fact that they finally gave us another Director Krennic with this $1,000 Death Star. I think it is very fitting to include him in this set. It does raise some ideas that could have opened up for the gift with purchase and other minifigures they could have included, but I'll get to that later. But this one does in fact use a brand new torso print and brand new headpiece. The headpiece features 2 face prints, one where he's just basic and stern, and the other he's a little bit more excited with a smile. Now this Krennic is currently going for anywhere from $80 to $120 in the aftermarket, and just being honest with you guys, if you want a Director Krennic in your collection and you don't already have one, I would honestly go with the one from 2016. If you don't really care about little tiny differences in the torso print and face print, they really are almost identical, and that one from 2016 is going for around $40 to $50. So for nearly half the price of this one, you're getting one that is almost at the same quality. For most collectors out there, $40 to $50 on one minifigure is already a lot, and paying double that for very minute changes isn't necessarily worth it. But if you do want the one from the $1,000 set, this one is a nice one to pick up. I don't think you'll be disappointed with it. This was a great opportunity for them to give us a new Director Krennic, and I think they did good with it. I think it's a nice minifigure, and I'm very happy it was included. Moving on to our next minifigure, we have the Imperial Dignitary. This is a brand new character and minifigure in terms of LEGO. It's the first time we've ever had an Imperial Dignitary made, and it's definitely a cool niche figure to add to the set. 3 of the 4 parts on this minifigure are brand new, new. This purple headdress is a new piece. This torso with printing is a new piece. And he has a brand new unique head with two different prints. The first one just being a plain face and the other one having some sort of gritty smile. The Imperial dignitaries could be seen following Emperor Palpatine in episode 6. And while it is not officially named this one is clearly modeled off of Sim Alu. This is just a great minifigure to add to this $1,000 Death Star. It's not really something that everybody is dying to have, but it's just a cool addition to throw into a huge set like this. I do like this minifigure. There's nothing really I would change. I probably would name it Sim Alu rather than Imperial Dignitary. But with that being said, I think it would have been nice if they included a second Imperial Dignitary as well. These guys just kind of give you the same vibe as Royal Guards. You don't really get an instance where there's only one of them. It's usually in pairs. So I think including a second Imperial Dignitary would have been nice for this set. But it's a great minifigure. I'm very glad they included it. It's very unique and niche. And this one is currently going for around $80 to $120 in the aftermarket. Definitely one of the more expensive minifigures. Moving on to the most desirable minifigures in this $1,000 set. Next up, we have Galen Erso. This is a fantastic minifigure, and it is one of the staples in this $1,000 set. This is the first Galen Erso that we've ever had in LEGO form. Galen Erso being the ultimate designer of the Death Star, it makes absolutely perfect sense to include him in this ultimate Death Star set. Since we haven't really gotten an awesome Death Star since Rogue One and Andor have come into play, this is definitely a minifigure that people have been wanting to have made. He's a cool character with a lot of importance in Star Wars, and they delivered this one very, very well. Galen Erso features two brand new minifigure parts, being the torso and headpiece. The two face prints look pretty good, and the torso looks amazing. I kind of wish they gave this extra little bit of arm printing to some of the more common troopers that we saw in this set, but if any minifigure was supposed to have it, I'm glad they gave it to Galen Erso. In this set, there's also this really nice printed Death Star plan tile, and while this is not officially part of this minifigure, it obviously is meant to go with him in the set, so just something to look out for if you do want to pick up this minifigure individually. So before you buy this minifigure, if you want this Death Star plan piece, make sure you know if the seller is including it or not. What I do like about this set is that it included minifigures from all different eras of the Death Star. We have scenes and characters from episode 4, episode 6, and Rogue One, and I kind of wish they expanded into Rogue One a little bit more with this set. It's really nice that we got Galen Erso and Director Krennic. I really do wish they mixed in more Rogue One to this Death Star somehow, whether it was Death Troopers for Krennic or Cassian and Jyn. I really think a Cassian and Jyn gift with purchase would have done really well with this, so the inclusion of Galen Erso was definitely one of the more popular additions to this set. And if you're gonna have a minifigure that is exclusive to a $1,000 Death Star, I think Galen Erso makes perfect sense. Galen Erso right now is going anywhere from around $120 to $170 and more. He's definitely one of the most expensive minifigures in this set, and everybody's looking to pick him up. I would be pretty surprised if they include him in a future set, but you never know nowadays. But Galen Erso is definitely one of the best minifigures in this set. And we saved the best for last. We have the legendary Hot Tub Stormtrooper. This minifigure has kind of taken the LEGO community by storm as of recently, and it was just a fantastic addition to this set. The Hot Tub Stormtrooper has been an Easter egg in the LEGO Star Wars games that you could always find, and it's always been somewhat of a meme, so it's really cool to get an official version of it actually made in LEGO. This minifigure has two brand new parts, being the legs and torso. It's got a funny little smirky headpiece. This guy looks like he's up to something in that hot tub. It is funny though, because this headpiece minifigure wise is exclusive to the Hot Tub Stormtrooper, but the piece itself appeared in 3 sets total. One of which is obviously this Death Star, but it also appeared in the Over the Moon with Pharrell Williams set and the Table Football set. And both of those sets is kind of just an extra headpiece that you can use to customize the minifigures, which is pretty funny. But this is the first time it's actually being cataloged in an official minifigure. Now, in terms of the torso piece, this actually is a brand new unique print exclusive to this Hot Tub Stormtrooper. So this 6-pack printed piece is actually exclusive to this $1,000 Death Star, which is pretty funny. And moving on to what is ironically the best minifigure piece included in the entire set, we have this set of legs here. This is an awesome dual molded leg piece with these Imperial swim trunks and legs poking out from underneath. And it is actually kind of insane that this is the only minifigure that features dual molded legs in the entire set. It's almost like LEGO put up a poll that everybody could vote on and said, hey, We're only going to put dual molded legs in one of these 38 minifigures. Which one do you guys want us to go all out on? Now, obviously, I'm not complaining that they put this much detail into this funny character, but it is kind of absurd that they couldn't do this same exact thing with the other Imperial minifigures. And much like Galen Erso, the Hot Tub Stormtrooper has a piece that is commonly being sold and paired with it, although it is not officially part of the minifigure itself. And that is the rubber ducky that accompanies him in the hot tub at the top of the Death Star. And it appears that the rubber ducky that was included in my Death Star set actually has misprinted eyes. This is really one of the drawing characters to this set. A lot of people want it just for this minifigure. The odds of them including this in another set are probably pretty low. I don't see them putting something with dual molded legs in anything fairly cheap. So I would be pretty surprised if they do somehow find a way to put this in another set. But with LEGO nowadays, you can't count anything out. And the Hot Tub Trooper is by far the most sought after minifigure in the entire set. And this minifigure individually is selling anywhere from $170 to over $240 by itself already. But luckily for you guys, I am actually giving away one Hot Tub Trooper, one Galen Erso minifigure, and two brand new sealed Death Stars. Both of these Death Stars will be given away at the end of my upcoming streams as part of Whatnot's Beyond the Con New York event. The minifigure giveaways will be completely free to enter for anybody attending the stream. And at the end of each stream, I will be giving away one sealed Death Star to one lucky buyer. So if you're not already signed up for Whatnot, sign up with the link in the description and you'll get a free $15 credit to spend on anything during the streams. Huge shout out to Whatnot for sponsoring this video, and as always, thanks for watching.